Welcome back to Stretch Street Podcast. I know it's been a while that I've been away from the mic, but I'm super excited to be back and back with fire because today on the show I have such a fireful guest that are you ready? Like, if you're not ready, I want you to shift position because you will be shifted off your seat. Your mind will be shifted, your action will be affected, and you're going to leave this conversation a better person than you started it. So I hope you're ready. Today on the show, I have an amazing guest, and we're talking about how to order the life you want. Yes, do you know, or did you know that whatever life you have now is what you ordered? Yes. Do you know how to order it if you want something else from what you have now? That is exactly what we're going to be talking about in today's episode. So let me introduce my guest to you, bring her on, and then let's dive into this conversation today. My guest today is Dr. Pal, as she's fondly called. Her full name is Palmonia Gordon, and she's a former federal employee who transitioned into entrepreneurship after she picked up her bag to go to work one day and thought of going postal made sense to her. But today, she's an award-winning entrepreneur and the founder of Other It Coaching Academy, a believer who incorporates faith and structure into her signature Other It framework. A dynamic speaker and sought after coach, Palmonia is the published author of 3 books that teaches you how to harness the power of words to rewrite your story, your life, or your finances. Her work earned her the prestigious Doctor of Humanity Award for making an impact on individuals worldwide. Whether through her courses, events, or speeches, Dr. Pal motivates and inspires women to significantly rejuvenate themselves over fear, rise boldly, and restore harmony and balance in their lives, leading to lasting transformation and success. Like, listen, the first time I got on a call with Dr. Pal, I was like, oh my God, I caught the fire. So I am so looking forward to this conversation today, and I hope you are too. So don't go anywhere, sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea, a bottle of water, if that is what works for you, as we dive into this conversation on how to order the life you want. Hi there, welcome to Stretch Street Podcast. This is a space for people who are growing, not loudly, not perfectly, but honestly. I am the energetic EJ, and this podcast is about stretching through life without rushing who you are becoming. Here, I'll talk about confidence without pressure, about returning to things you love, about slowing down, listening in, and trusting your pace. Some days, you'll hear thoughtful solo reflections, the kind you listen to on a walk, in the car, or during a quiet moment to yourself. Other days, you'll hear real conversations with people who are navigating growth in real time, not just the highlight reel. If you are in a season of becoming, if you're learning to move with intention, or if you're answering a quiet call back to yourself, then, my friend, you are in the right place. So, welcome to Stretch Street Podcast. Stretch gently and trust your pace. All right, welcome on the show, Dr. Palmonia. How are you doing today?
Oh, I am absolutely fantastic. And it is such a pleasure to be with you today. I'm overjoyed. I listened to what you said in the intro that you caught the fire, and that is exactly my intention, that every person that I come in contact with catches this fire, that order it becomes this phenomenon that the world will wake up and say, what took us so long?
I
Yeah,
cannot wait for that
yeah,
experience for
yeah.
anyone who's going to watch this or listen to this. So let us start from the beginning. Of course, I read your bio and all of that, but I want the story version of your journey. If you were to
Mm.
introduce yourself, looking back at your journey to where you were and where you are now, how would you introduce yourself in such a way that pulls anyone in that says, "Okay, I want to listen to this woman right now"?
Um, there's a poem by Nikita Gill that I love. It says, "Before she was fire, she was water, quenching the thirst of every living creature. She gave and she gave until she turned to ashes. But instead of dying, she rise and she became fire." So that in essence is who I am. This woman that life steamrolled many times. But here's the thing with the steamrolled, if you're on um, asphalt, you're just compressing it and setting it so it becomes um, cured for the process that it's meant for. This teacher once, when my kids were in school, they were in private school, and the principal's wife, she looked at me once and she goes, "The devil must look at you and say, 'What a hard gal fi dead.'" Me. So for the English, that was the Creole. For English, it's like, man, she's hard to die, right? So it's the journey of life of every every experience becomes a moment not where you stay, but where you stop to gather strength and move to the next level. Literally, that's all it's been. I grew up in, do you want the cold note, the long version? Grew up in the island of Jamaica. My one of my breaking moments in life was when I was 15 years old, 15 or 16, going home on public transit, and this guy looked at me and said, "You're so ugly." And something in me died. I didn't know it. Um, but I spent the greater part of my life always making sure I'm put together. And when I was 45, I went to this event and the lady said, "I need each of you to go back to your room to look at yourself in the mirror and say, 'I am beautiful.'" No problem. Oh, easy peasy. But that was before Order It had been formed. These are all the backbone and the framework that's bringing Order It to fruition. Went to my room, looked. I am beautiful. Oh, mm, mm. I was so scared. I went to my bed immediately. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and it's like bedtime. Got up the next morning. I am. Whew. But from that day to today, every morning, the first thing I write in my journal, "I am beautiful." I'm not sure when the transition happened, but it's gotten to a place now where I own that. You don't need to tell me that I'm beautiful. As a matter of fact, sometimes my kids will hear, I go past this mirror and go, "Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful." "Mom, are you talking to yourself again?" Absolutely. That is no longer a tool or a weapon that the enemy can ever use against me because I ordered that component of my life to own my beauty. So I'm not waiting for an external source to validate me. And every morning I get up, remind myself, I am beautiful. So, wow, go ahead. I'll let you run your show.
I was saying it took almost 3 decades for you to override what
That's right.
someone said to you.
That's right.
Like, I am literally having goosebumps now. And my head is
Absolutely.
going, how many other women
Absolutely.
and even men
Mm-hmm.
are still writing or performing the
Yes.
script
Yes.
that was told to them while they were younger?
Absolutely. And that is why in 2025, I released this book called Words Matter, because that was when I was gathering the whole framework to realize that the words doesn't necessarily have to be your own. As children, we're told things. Oh, you're so ugly, you're so fat, you're so this, from our culture. I can speak culturally from Jamaica. Oh, your face so big and fat. And we don't recognize that the law of words has made that an order that has to be fulfilled. And it's a seed that we now carry. And until the tree is fully grown and has borne its fruit, the order is still in process. You understand? So the biggest thing is we have to recognize, take in stock, and become aware. What have I said? What has other people said? And what do we believe? Because if you are not aware of the order, you can't change it.
Preach,
So,
preach, preach, preach.
so when I was 45, I was mom of five, going through a divorce in my sister's basement, 1 bedroom, 5 kids, and I woke up and I asked the question, God, how did I end up here? And that's one of the things I've learned, to ask my question out loud, because if you ask a question, you're going to get the answer. And God said, you order it. Like, what? He said, you order it. And then he gave me a flashback of me at about 19 years of age saying to my boyfriend, if I should get pregnant, I'm going to go off and raise the child by myself, because I don't believe there's a man that's going to love me and my child the way we deserve. What? So when we speak from pain, we are usually speaking in a negative tone, but words doesn't care whether it's negative or positive. When you speak, you have sent the word on an assignment. Find this and bring it back to me. So whatever you say goes out. Oh, this is what Palmonia said. It comes back to her. She wants to raise her children by herself. Took 30 years. I had to go through the process, had to journey, had to get married, get divorced. Oh my God, why am I here? That's what you asked for.
My God. So, I mean, it's not, it's like, it's not the first time, that we're talking about the power of words, the power of positive affirmations and all of that. But, when you hear it from someone who's lived it, it
Yes,
hits differently, right? You've been through the journey, you've been through the process, and you capturing it, because I honestly believe that there is power in distilling our journeys. And that's why what I
absolutely.
do on this podcast is so powerful for me, right?
Yes,
Like,
yes,
distilling what you've been through. And, I've had people on this show across the world, right? And
yes,
sometimes in the process of having this conversation, That is when some are able to even language
Mm-hmm.
what they've been through in
Yes,
trying to express it. And for me, what it tells me is the power of sharing our stories.
absolutely.
First to ourselves and then to the world. And
Yes,
so for you, I listen to you and I hear you go through the process of recounting your story to yourself. Like, how did I get here? And being able
yeah.
to catch it,
Mm-hmm.
say, oh my God, this was
Mm-hmm.
the moment. And that's what a lot of people are missing
Yes,
today,
yes,
that unawareness. And
yes,
so it's easy to allude whatever we're going through, whatever our circumstances are, to things around us. Meanwhile, these are just like, they have no business. They're just probably buttressing what we ordered.
yes,
Please.
yes.
How? If you were going to explain to somebody, if somebody is catching the light right now, like I am, like, oh my God, what have I said? What have I said that is still in process? How can I stop it? How can I, like, stop the order and say, no, 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 no. I said it, yes, I acknowledge that I said it, but I don't want it anymore. How do we do that? Because woo,
Exactly what you just did. I said it. I don't want it anymore. It no longer belongs to me. However, you now have, it's like a seed. If you were to pluck a tree from the ground, what is there? There's a hole. Now, if you don't fill it with intention, it's going to gather weeds, right? So you don't want something that's wild. You want to be specific. So when you say, "Oh my gosh, I've think," so I had to cancel it. When I with the morning when God said you ordered, I dropped to my knee and I also got like, "Oh my God, cancel! If there's anything else I have ordered, cancel it." And then I said, "Give me only those things that are in alignment with your will for my life." And that's when I discovered something called a blueprint, where I, this is what I would encourage. Everybody needs to do this because whatever you're designed to do, it's already within you. Many people have never taken the time to ask themselves, what do I like to do? What value do I bring to the people around me? Who am I? Why am I here? And when you ask those questions, I like to do a visualization. I'm going to invite you on a journey with me, EJ. I want you to close your eyes and just imagine. And listeners, if you're listening to this and you're driving, this is not the time to close your eyes. Wait until you get home. Please do it safely. All right. But I want you to imagine that you're driving home and I want you to see your car on the steering wheel, whatever your dream car is. When you see your hand, you see that symbol and that feel that you feel like, yes, this is my car. And you're driving and you're going to the home. If you have a street or an area that you desire, you're driving through it. And then when you see your home, there's this sense of gratitude that fills your heart, not for the building, but because you know what's on the inside. You have your family, you have your dreams that you've accomplished. When you walk in through that door and your heart is, wow, this feels like home. This is where I'm meant to be. And your family, you may have a pet and they come to greet you. And when you sit down to eat dinner and you guys, you're holding hands, and there's just this sense of gratitude. There is so much gratefulness because you took the time to discover who you are and what value you bring. You can see your office, and as you enter that space around your office, you have the symbols that represent the lives that you have touched, the journey that you have traveled. And each of them is just a reminder that that is who you are. That's what you're here for. And again, you have so much joy and gratitude. This feels good. Now I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to ask you to come. You're going to open your eyes and you're going to be back here with me on this podcast. That's a brief tip of what it is, of how to create that journey. Because when you're doing that, you want to see every area of your life. You want to see the bank account having the money that you desire. You want to see your career where you're going into your office, whether at home or you have an outside source, and the value that you bring. It's seeing that, because when you see it, what is happening, the the assignment that God has for you, you're now connecting with that. That's what gives you that picture in the mind. That's what creates that picture. So anyone who is living a life right now that they're not happy with, they don't believe it's the life they're meant to live, they can change it the minute they choose to do so. First, you have the thought. And then I tell anyone who knows me will hear me talk about two things always: pen and paper. You need a book, you need a journal. I know we're in the age of technology, right? If you want to put it on the iPhone, that's
Uh-huh.
fine. You can go ahead.
Right.
However, writing is cathartic. So it helps you to heal. But what God has showed me is that when you write something on the paper, you have taken an intangible image and given it form. So now you can see it. If you were to sketch your house, that's why the blueprint is the architect writes it on the paper, but now the invisible image can now be seen and touched. And that's when the real process of it starting to grow has begun, because you've given it form. So that's the seed you've planted right there. So everyone needs to take a moment. If you have the greatest life possible, then the question now becomes, how can this become better? Or what can I do greater? Maybe you need to serve from a greater capacity. The fact that you are still here means you still have work to do, because the moment your work is done, it's time to go, right? So we have to keep ordering every day with intention, with
Hmm.
clarity. Yes.
Wow. So, I mean, I'm here. I could feel it. I understand it. But I also know that there is resistance. There is such a thing called resistance. And so, even in the moment, like we're talking now, I'm feeling like, oh my God, I need to reorder. I need to cancel some orders and I need to order fresh things, right?
Yes.
But then the chat, 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 chat starts coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, really? You want
Mm-hmm.
to order? Like, seriously? Is it even you? You don't even have your life together. Blah, 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 blah. How do we deal with that noise? And how do we deal with resistance when it feels like, okay, I've tried. I believe it. I am now like, it was war for me to even sit down and write, but now I'm writing, but nothing is changing.
One of my mentor, Myron Golden, he says, if something is not working for you, it is working on you. So because you don't see the physical change out before you get something, you become the person worthy to receive that thing. Before, are you a mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So before you had, we think that being pregnant is just the baby growing within us. We're also on a journey of being that mother. Because the moment you become pregnant, what's the first thing you do? Instinctively, you always cover your tummy. No matter what's happening, if something happened, you're protecting that. So you have moved from maybe being the selfish person that was all about me, I want my sleep, and to become the protector,
Protector.
the nurturer. Now you're
Mm.
thinking when you plan. You no longer go to the store. It's not all about the Louis V and the Gucci. Now you're looking at baby clothes. What does the baby need? So your focus has, so it's not just working in you, it's working on
Oh.
you. That's
Mm.
why one of my favorite quotes, that it's my personal quote, it says, change happens on the inside. What you see outside is just the effect. Right? So after the change is you start to see, oh, you look different. What's the okay? I challenge you, start drinking water every day. Drink your required amount of water. After a while, somebody's going to say, oh, your skin looks so different. What are you doing? Nothing. But you're drinking water on the inside that changes on the outside. So the resistance is a good thing because it means that you are moving in the right direction. Without resistance, you know something is wrong. Wasn't that the conversation I said to you this morning? I said,
Yeah.
if life is easy, something is wrong
Well, there's
because nothing is happening. No resistance.
mm.
So resistance is not a bad thing. It's the way we've been programmed to believe it's something bad. So when resistance comes, the question is not to say, why is this happening? The question is, what do I need to learn in that moment? What am I doing? You see, resistance comes oftentimes for two reasons. One, it's trying to keep you from going down a path that is not the one that you need to be on. So it's trying to course correct you. It's changing the path. So it's gently nudging you. Two, it's giving you the opportunity to look and see because we were never taught this way. We were never taught to believe. We were never taught to create vision and, you know, see limitless possibility. That becomes challenging. And this is why the pen and paper is such a good thing. Because on those days when the chatter comes, it's good to go back and see, what did I write? When I ask a question, what answer was given to me? Because when you have the proof here, you can say, okay, you know what? I'm not yet that person, but I'm still on the journey. Still on the journey. There's also a technique. There's a one of my mentors at this event, and um, people with technology, it's more difficult to understand. But in the old days, there was a thing called boombox. And when you wanted to play the music, you had to press this button and the music would play. And when you wanted to stop it, you had a button, you press to pause. So when the negative chatter comes, who are you? Who do you think you are? Decide which side of your brain. Okay, my right side is going to be my pause button. Okay, negative chat. I'm going to put a pause, and you literally pause and then play. So in order to play, what did I say about the tree? When you root it up, you have to
The
plant something.
sequence. Mm.
It's good to plant affirmations.
Mm.
Who am I? I am a great problem solver. I have unlimited energy. I am organized and I take the time to stay focused. Wealth comes to me easily. Make that list. Once you start to write that and the negative thought comes, whatever your negative thoughts are, pause. What's the positive to that thought? So then when you press play, you have that thought that you're saying to yourself, I am worthy. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of honor. I'm worthy of respect. So you pause and you play, right? But you got to make your playlist so that when you play, it's not going.
It's not good. I love that. That was very practical. That was very, very practical. And so, yes. So when you said you need to update your playlist, it
Mm,
means that's the work that is there, right? Updating the playlist. So what are the affirmations that you're saying to yourself now? And how often are you saying it? And of course, the resistance will come because that's just life. Things would happen that would make you forget that you're on this other journey of
yes,
rewriting the story, rewriting your programming. And so when on those days, this is the power of writing it down. Your
absolutely.
brain will forget, your
Yes,
memory will fail you. But when you pick the book, you'll be like, wait, what? I said
absolutely.
this?
Yes,
What?
yes,
I go back to some of my journals when I was pregnant in 2006. And and sometimes when I see some of the things I wrote then at
yes.
22, I think, gosh,
You're
like
in
this
awe.
is, this is one of the things that makes me like, you know what, EJ, you are a consistent human. Like
Mm,
things might not be working yet
yes,
the way you want them to work, but
yes.
you are consistent. Because when
Mm,
I go back to my journals, like literally, I've seen my journal before. I wrote the same like I used exact same
word.
words
Yes,
to describe something
yes,
years apart.
yes,
It
yes,
blows my mind always.
yes.
I'm like, I was here before. I've been here
Absolutely.
before.
Absolutely. And that's the thing we don't realize. What's for you to do, what's in you, that's the only thing you'll keep bringing out. The resistance is designed to keep that down. So when you see those parts of you resurfacing, it's the time to acknowledge like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to jump. That's it. That's it.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Even
Absolutely.
recently, I have a program that I call Activate Your Voice, right?
Yes.
It's a challenge, a 30 days challenge to help women kind of just come out of their shells, share their story, clarify their story, and just show up for 30 days. And
Yes.
I did it last year, did it, forgot about it. That's it, moving on. You would believe it. At about the same time this year again, it came back. And
Yeah.
I was done, designing and putting the words out. As a matter of fact, somebody made a request for me to design
Mm.
this year's own.
Yes.
So, and then when I did that, I was going through my phone. I needed my phone is full. I needed to delete some stuff. And that was when I saw it. I'm like, wait, what? I did
Yeah.
this last year
Yeah.
at about this time?
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking about it before. And so for me, it kind of affirms that, see, you
That's
are
so
made for this.
absolutely.
This
Absolutely.
is where you need to be. You just need to continue to capture it, continue
Mm.
to fine tune it, continue to get better at it, and continue to impact lives. And so
Yeah.
these are some of the things like I'm like, if I didn't capture that moment or have these resources, I probably would just forget and feel like if this, let's say this year, maybe people don't sign up or something happened, it's easy to spiral into, oh, maybe I'm not doing the right thing, or maybe, but the thing is, maybe you didn't market it well, or maybe the timeline was different, or the timeline is, or your life situation right now is not accommodate. Like there could be plethora of things, but if you don't have any data where you have that consistent
Yes.
capturing of
Yes.
thoughts and
Yes.
everything,
Yes.
you will be able to fall back and say, we've been here before, we did it before, we can do it again.
You can do
Thank
it
you for this
again.
conversation because I haven't journaled in a while, so this is
Listen,
like, yeah.
remember, if it's not work, even if no one shows up, the process of planning and prepping, it is working on you. Always. It is working on you. Never forget that.
I love it. I
You
love
show up for the Zoom and nobody else come, do the presentation anyway because it is working on you. And that's the core of order it is we do it all the time. You open your eyes. Oh my God. Most people go, I'm so tired. I'm like, my children don't use that word. My youngest boy, because I have 5 kids, handful, right? And when he was 7, wherever we go, and he'd hear someone say, he literally would do this. And the second, and then the third time he goes, Mom, go tell her what she's saying. Literally, because they
Oh,
had gotten to the
wow.
point where they understood.
Oh my goodness, that is so good.
Right?
Oh my God.
You stay tired, that's an order. Find tired, bring it back. End of the day, you can't wait to go home and call it to your bed
But
because
then
tired.
how are you supposed to say it then? Because if your body needs rest, how are you supposed to say it? Maybe
What's the
teach
word?
us.
What's the word you said? Your body needs.
Rest.
Okay, so I need sleep or I need rest. So you say what you need, not how you physically feel, because what you need will go out and bring that. That have you ever had those like you've done the event, and even though you're feeling exhausted, you find you'll do it and you have the energy and when you're done, it's like, oh my gosh, because you needed the rest and the energy. What you that's what you harnessed. So you instead of saying I am broke or I can't afford that. As my friend, my friend Nikisha, she always says it's not in the budget.
I love that.
Okay? So you're already declaring that you have money and you're choosing how to spend it.
That's
That
powerful. Yeah.
that's what budget means, right?
Mm.
One of the thing I say, I have enough to buy whatever I want. I don't know if I want to buy this right now. Because one of the thing I've looked at, you go to and I'm gonna hit up on y'all sisters, my apologies. The sisters, oh, I can't afford that. I don't have that. But if they got invited to a wedding, new hair, new nails, new eyes, new dress. Yeah. So I have enough money to buy what I want. I don't know if I want to buy this right now. Because it's a choice that we make into what we do. And we have to learn to get the order that's going to uh, pull you forward, not keep you stagnant.
There's so much
Yes,
power in words. I know, like, but I just love how you're bringing it back to like you're bringing you're coloring it in my head right now. Like, I mean, it's not in the budget. It means I didn't plan for that, and that's okay. Like, it's even there's a burden. It just lifts off your shoulder. Like,
yeah,
duh. Like,
yeah.
I could afford it, but you know what? It's not my budget right now. It's not
No,
important to me.
that's right. Absolutely. See the difference? So now that resistance where that society puts on you to feel as if, well, you gotta get it. It's like, no. It's like you're playing rope. Okay, skip, skip. I'm the matador. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. So that's canceling the order and choosing what you want.
So
Right?
good. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I can listen to you all day.
Right. That's the beautiful thing about life, because from that basement back to the story. Okay.
Yes.
Permission.
Yes.
When I woke up and I realized that, and then I became intentional. That's the key word. Know where you want to go and set the intention to get there. I became intentional. Okay, I'm gonna buy a house. Okay. Now, when you set an intention, it doesn't mean it's all roses. Remember, if I say nothing else today that you remember, if everything is going great in your life, then something is wrong, right? Because even if you have all the money, there's simply little things that will break, things that are meant to build you. Let me test how he's going to react or she's going to react to this moment. So I decided, okay, I'm going to buy a house. Live in my sister's basement, told her I'm leaving. We're looking for houses. Think we got a house? Nothing. Nothing. And then my sister thought I got a house, so she rented the basement. So that's the day I'm launching my first book, Order It, A Guide to Manifesting Your Dreams. And no place to live. So we packed up everything, I went to the book launch, and then we went to a hotel. So for almost a month, my kids and I were in the hotel. Now, if something is not working,
For you,
it
it's
is working.
on you.
All right. Okay. So here's the thing with that moment while we're living in the hotel, my kids, oh my gosh, they were like Zach, living the sweet life of Zach and Cody. They love the idea of living in a hotel. I made sure I got one that they could go get for breakfast. So everybody would get up and go down for breakfast. And it's like, oh, we're living this sweet life. Whereas mom is dealing with everything else. But the kids, like, no worries, no stress. This is cool. Obedience to success is obedience to your calling. I believe it's one Bob Proctor or somebody, one of my trainers that I heard that from. I had made a commitment the year before to go to this mission trip to Guatemala, living in the hotel. Okay, I'm still going to go on this mission trip. Left my kids with my sister, went on the mission trip, came back. That experience taught me so much about simplicity. Because when you watch those kids play and dance and they do laundry and everybody gets up to work together, something that we don't do much of sometimes, right? But I came back the day, met with the realtor, found a house, and in 14 days, we purchased a home and we were able to move for Christmas because I changed my order. I changed the direction of my life. I changed the things I wanted to have in my life. Now, your podcast, unless we're gonna be here for a good 3-4 hours solid chatting, you can capture right all of it.
Absolutely. But I'm just sucking all I can in this moment because I know, like you're a coach and this is what you do for a living. So anyone who wants to get in and really excavate whatever it is that is
Yeah,
holding you back, if you can't go through this process alone, of course you can connect with Dr. Pal to say, you know what, I can't do it. I'm trying to sit, but the noise is too much because there's such a
yeah,
thing as that. Like people try to want to introspect and they just can't sit with themselves.
yeah.
It's one of the most difficult things to do. The first time I tried it, I'm like, wait, what?
Because the noise become louder.
Oh my God. So it takes a
Yeah,
lot of work to get to
yeah,
that point where
yeah,
you are able to talk to or talk with yourself and
yes,
actually have responses back and forth. It's a skill and it's a
yeah,
journey. So sometimes you need to kickstart it working with the coach, right? And I know Dr. Palmonia here can do that with you. But you know what? I'm just like, let's just suck in a little bit more before I let her go on the podcast today. So I would like for you to, as we kind of wrap it up, so if you want to connect with Dr. Pal, we're going to leave the link to her social media handles and her website and her email if she permits, so that you can reach out to her and have these conversations and get coaching, and if you need that. But doctor, as we start to wrap up this session, I want you to speak. I mean, this podcast is not gender specific.
hmm,
It's for everyone, especially
absolutely.
people who just are, you know, dedicated to their personal growth. But I permit me, audience, to just speak to women because I really feel, you know what, I take that back. I take that back
Yeah,
because
just
in
speak. Yeah.
recent time, yes,
Hmm.
in recent time, I've seen that women are becoming more aware and
Hmm.
doing more of the work than men.
Yes.
And so it's becoming a tilted
Mm.
scale right
Hmm.
now.
Hmm.
So I take that back and I'll just speak to anyone who could listen to this right now and is feeling like, I get what you're saying, but where do I begin? How do I start? What are simple things that I can do that can set me on that journey? What would you say to that person right now?
For anyone who has a desire, because that's where everything starts. If you have the desire to change, that's the seed of greatness within you that's trying to surface. So to start, you grab a copy of my book, order it. You could get that on Amazon. You could get it at my website. But beginning to read is investing in you. When you read, you are taking, like what EJ, listening to this podcast, you are taking the journey that other people has already gone and they have distilled it. This is, oh my gosh, I was out here and I've filtered it down. So 45 years, I was able to fit it in 100 pages. Simple for you to understand. In my book, there's an example of a story I share where you go into this room and the light switch is there and it's dark. And instead of turning on the light switch so we can see, we stand there frozen. So all you need to do sometime is flip the switch. Flip the switch. And the fastest way to do that is to begin investing in you. What are you reading? We spoke about the affirmation to help to combat the negative thoughts. Take stock of where you are, because you make the decision, oh, you know what, I want more. So then you have to become aware, what is it that I would like to change? And if you recognize something that you'd like to change, what's the opposite of that? What would I like to have instead? Because once you start to make that distinction, now you're giving clear direction to your word and your mind as to the route you'd like to go. There's a phrase that I like. It's a little quote. It says, a confused mind does nothing. You can't do both things at the same time. It's either one or. That's why the Bible tells us you're either going to love one or you're going to hate the other. So make that distinction. Invest in yourself. It has to be a decision that I want more. I want to become the best version of me. How am I possible to do that? And then, of course, you need to connect with a coach. You need someone to guide you along the way, because having the thoughts and the idea and understanding what to do with it is, it's scary. It's like trying to have baby by yourself and trying to reach down to pull that child out without any assistance. Has it been done in life? Absolutely, but those are one-off. I don't have to be the coach you speak with, but you need a coach and a mentor that's going to guide you. One, someone who will believe in you until you begin to believe in yourself. Because that's why the negative chatter is there, is because your belief level is still very low. Right? And three is the community. You need to have community and fellowship. You need to have people around you that will say to you, oh my gosh, EJ, you are so good at this. That is why someone is able to message you, hey, are we doing this event this year? Because now it's been recognized, oh, she's good at that. We need to make sure she keeps that up. But everything starts with a decision. Everything. One of the biggest aha moment in life for people to understand is, whatever you say after I am, that becomes your truth. So every time you say I am, take a little book and write down, what did I say? Okay, what do I need to change then? Because I didn't like the fact that I said I'm BROKE. Are you? No, you're not. You are endless, filled with endless possibility. So the three big things: invest in yourself, Get books, start reading books. YouTube has free audiobooks. Three, become aware of the change that you'd like to have. And two, become aware of the change. And three, get a mentor. Get a mentor or a coach and somebody to walk with you on the journey. To if you want to, they usually thinks that if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far, you go with others.
Oh, this is so beautiful. So, so beautiful. Thank you so much, Dr. Palmonia, for
Okay,
just
sir.
pouring out today. My prayer for you is that you are refilled, that every virtue
Yeah,
that has left you, just sharing this today, is refilled and replenished, and that you're able to impact more lives. And,
yeah.
so
Thank you.
thank you so much for being on the show today. Listen, guys, I hope that you've caught some fire today. Like,
Mm,
I don't know about you, but my brain is going, poo, 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 look at the work you need to do, girl, and the people you need to drag along with you on this journey, right? So if that is you, congratulations. But if
mm,
you like, listen again. Sometimes you don't hear it the first time,
yeah,
okay? So
absolutely.
listen again, watch it again, send it to somebody else, tell them to listen, and then have a conversation about it. Sometimes your answer also comes in conversation when
Yes,
you're talking and somebody says something like, oh, okay, I didn't see it that way. Yes, now you see it. That's the point of having conversations. Okay, so please do share this with somebody you know has so much potential in them, but they're living below their potential. Probably they are ordering the wrong thing and they need to cancel that order and order the right thing and do the work that goes along with receiving that order that it made.
absolutely.
Okay. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for being a part of the show today. Till I come your way again next time on Stretch Street Podcast. Remember that we are stretching without
Mm,
pressure and becoming at our own pace. So
yes,
keep becoming, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye bye.
absolutely. Bye.